Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor and today is going to be a reading vlog. I want to read 50 physical books by the time I go to Chicago in July. My boyfriend and I are going to the Pokemon Fossil Museum. I'm so excited, and I'll be honest with you, it is April 13th, I believe it is today. Tomorrow's the 14th. I finished one book in the month of April. I have been very, very slow, and that's okay. I just have a lot of books. I would like to, read and finish in my lifetime, so we're gonna need to get on that. It's so weird because I don't even feel like I'm slumping. I just feel that I'm really busy. Like last week we had sections for speech. I went out with friends on Saturday night, and I went to my first wild hockey game on Tuesday. So I've been busy, and I also had some students qualify for state. This is so exciting. So that's gonna be happening next Friday. But so I want to read 50 new physical books of mine before July 10th, I believe it is. So this is the book I'm reading right now. I'm reading a few books. I'm also reading Wuthering Heights, but I have read this before. I am tabbing it and being a more active reader, and this is part of the reason why I've taken so long to finish a book, because I've been putting a lot of effort into this. This is a little mass market paperback, and there's 279 pages, and I'm on page 143. So that's just taking a little bit longer. But then I'm also reading Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. This is just a big book, and it's slower paced for a romance book because it's a Regency romance. So, slow burn, lingering glances, eye contact is hot, which it is, but that's kind of what we got going on. I was reading When God Was a Woman by Merlin Stone. I still am reading it, but I right now cannot get into it. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I'm gonna need to jump ship. At least for now, it's a softie enough. I definitely will finish that because it's on a few of my TBR things. But one book that I feel like I might need in my life right now, I've been kind of struggling with my appearance and my self-image and stuff, my self-esteem. This is The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. I think that this could be something good for me. We'll see. I've heard phenomenal things about this book. I love always having a nonfiction reading, and I just feel that right now I am not partaking in the nonfiction reading that I normally do. Another book that I am reading, I'm listening to the audiobook of this. This is All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. This is about, there's kind of three different stories going on. We have Salahuddin and Noor, who are Pakistani children of immigrants / immigrants themselves in Juniper, California. And then we are also partially following Mispa in Lahore, Pakistan, who is Salahuddin's mother. So this is a really, really good book so far. It is very sad, let me tell you, with caution, but it is gorgeous prose, great writing. I definitely think that this might get me to read Sabaa Tahir's other work. I think it's she's got another really popular fantasy series, and I think I tried reading that a long time ago, and something about it I was just nope, not for me. But based on this, I might have to go and just check that out again, maybe from the library. But I'm really liking this. I'm about almost 30% into it, but I'm gonna be trying to read 50 books by July 10th. Right now I'm at 1. So honestly, by the end of this vlog, I would like to have at least 3. But if you like reading, crafty stuff, crochet, I'm getting into sewing. If you like just hanging out and having some girl talk on the internet, consider subscribing to the channel. Please give this video a like and let me know what you love to read and what you've been reading recently. Hello, It is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, and I have been reading quite a bit this week. I'm really happy. I think I'm going to finish 2 books this week, which is 2 more than last week. So I have been really plowing through Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. This is a Why Choose Regency romance following 22-year-old Rosalie Harrow as she is invited to a really nice house called Alcott. I think it's based off the author who wrote Little Women, Louisa May Alcott, because it's Alcott Hall. But it's a Why Choose. We have our 3 men. This is just, it's really slow. Very much a slow burn. Like, we've had like 1 kiss, or like little sweet nothings, kisses, whatever. There are 460-ish pages, and I'm on page 326, so I have like 140 pages left. I did take a nap today and then have a Dr. Pepper, so we'll see if I'm up all night. I don't know, this week has been odd for me when it comes to sleep. Can you see these bags under my eyes? Designer. But I also finally cleaned up all of the laundry that's just been sitting in my bedroom for a while. I was like looking for something this weekend and I ended up ripping a ton of stuff out of my dresser drawers, and I finally put it all away, and I'm very proud of myself. While I was doing that, I listened to All My Rage by Sabbath Tahir. I talked a little bit about this in my last update. This book is so good. It is so sad. I find myself like just really realizing how much I want to read more stories by people who are from South Asia, Eastern Asia. I've heard discourse about like the term Middle East and how it's only considered like the Middle East in relation to London. So I'm trying to alter my language in that way. But this book is so good. This is about Noor and Salahuddin. And I need to know how this ends. I'm just like, the way that this is going, I don't see how this wraps up in a pretty little bow. And some stories are just sad, and it just makes me want to put this in a prose piece really, really, really bad. Like, this book is perfect for a high school prose piece. This is a young adult book, and this is why I've talked a little bit about this on my channel, but I have a really hard time when students do predominantly adult level pieces because they're the ages of like 13 to 18. And I understand that 18 is an adult, but they are still in high school as they are competing in speech. And so some coaches will have their students do like these pieces where they're playing 40-year-olds. And I just think that there's enough young adult content surrounding serious topics that these children can relate to, and this definitely falls into that. It's definitely something where I would have to have a student who is Pakistani. I'm really, really, really enjoying this. And then I started this yesterday and I read 36 pages of The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. I am on, technically, it's really odd the way that this one is because the chapters aren't entirely numbered, and so on the introduction that starts page 1, and a lot of times introductions are like in Roman numerals. So I read the introduction, The Beauty Myth, and now I'm on Work, and that chapter's pretty long. It goes until page 58 and I'm on page 36, 37. But I'm really, really, really enjoying this so far. I've been tabbing and highlighting it a little bit. I need to get back into reading Wuthering Heights, but what I want to do, honestly, is finish these 2 first and then head back into Wuthering Heights more. This one, I think I have about 3, like just under 4 hours left of this audiobook. Really, really enjoying it. So I'll definitely be finishing that this week. I'm definitely going to finish this. This is going like super, super fast. Now that, because I've been kind of just reading like 10 pages a night, and that's why it's taken me so long. But this is really going to take me no time at all to finish. Like I said, I might even finish it tonight, depending on when I go to bed, because I'm not tired at all, which is my own fault. It is what it is. Some days and weeks are just like that. It is what it is. Thursday. I have a lot of updates for you. I have finished 2 books since we last spoke. I finished Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. I give this 3 stars. It just was really long. I feel like there wasn't enough going on for me to really rate this higher. I am planning on reading the other 2 books. Apparently it is a trilogy. And I didn't realize that this was her first book that she like self-published. I enjoyed it enough. I think I needed a little bit more. I feel like I didn't get as much like interactions between the characters. Like I feel like it was a lot of very much like a Jane Austen novel, if you've ever read like Pride and Prejudice, where they literally just like go to each other's houses or they just like say a few words to each other. But this was fine. Like I said, I want to read the rest of the series. All My Rage by Sabit Zahir I finished today. This is a 5-star read. This is a young adult book. I loved this so much. It was so good. It was difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a trigger warning, like it's right there. And the book contains drug and alcohol addiction, physical abuse, Islamophobia, mentions of repressed sexual assault, tense exchange with law enforcement, and death. So, I mean, we got a lot going on here, but just a gorgeous book. I read a little bit of Wuthering Heights last night, and then I think I read a few pages today as well. I'm on page 154 of 279. So I'm just kind of chugging along. Kathy just died, and Isabella like just showed up at Thrushcross Grange, and Nellie's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, don't worry about it. I also finally finished the work chapter in The Beauty Myth. So now I'm on culture, and I'm still pretty early on in this chapter, and it's about how this chapter is about how women don't have like a ton of role models to look up to, whereas like men, they have like the gods that they can look up to, or you know, they are able to see themselves represented in positive lights in media just throughout history, whereas women don't have that as much. So, you know, still chugging along with this one. I also started 2 new books today. Why? Don't worry about it. It's fine. So I started The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I'm loving it so far. I'm on page 32, and it's already so good. This is about Sia Mora joining her slam poetry club at school. We're not quite to the point of her joining the slam poetry club yet. She is currently just we're setting the scene. She lives in, she's Dominican, so there's like a lot of Spanish words in here, and she lives in a Spanish area. Her mom is they're Catholic. Her mom is making her get confirmed right now. And it's really interesting. These, like the confirmation and the church thing and questioning religion and stuff, are things that like I went through as a child when I was getting confirmed in the Catholic Church. So I thought that, you know, this is pretty cool. This is really, really good so far. And then the last book, I'm actually listening to this on audio. This is Starbringer by Tracy Wolff and Nina Croft. This is supposed to be an intergalactic, like, sci-fi, like, found family sort of thing. So essentially, the sun is dying, and I think these people, they, like, hijack a spaceship, and then they're just like out on their own trying to save the sun, I think. This is supposed to be a trilogy, but I know that Tracy Wolff has been focusing on other endeavors. It's fine so far. I don't have much to talk about. Good morning. It is Saturday. Chad went to a friend's house to game for the day, which I'm excited for. I have like an entire 24 hours to myself, which I don't know the last time I had that, but I'm really excited. I think I'm going to do some spring cleaning. Our apartment needs just a little bit of love. So I think the best way to start is doing laundry. I'm gonna get some stuff going. I wanna wash all the blankets in the apartment. I just wanna try and wash as much as possible. And then I'm also going to clean our bathrooms. But in terms of reading, last night I finished The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This was a 5-star read. This was so good. Siamora trying to navigate first loves, liking a boy for the first time, her faith, because her mother is very devout Catholic, and she's like, I don't know if the church is for me. She's got a twin brother and like friends, and trying to navigate all of these things, and then coming into her own and finding her voice through poetry. It was just such an inspiring read. It was so good, very fast paced, so much fun. I loved this so much. Chad and I had a few cocktails last night, so I was like, oh, I want to continue reading, but there's no way that I can like sit down and read any of my nonfiction or anything like that. So I did start Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose. I only got 14 pages in, so it's not like I was really like locked in. But this is a taboo romance. It's between a woman and her ex-boyfriend's father, but it's established pretty early on that they were only together for like 6 months, so, and that it wasn't all that serious, which I think does make it a little less egregious. So I'm interested to see how things divulge from there. Look at these sprayed edges, they're so pretty. But so I'm reading that. And then I do have Starbringer, which I mentioned on audio, which is what I will be listening to while I am cleaning. So let's get started. Hello, it is, I think, almost 8 p.m. Forgot what time it was. I have been doing stuff all day. I cleaned my apartment. I also DNF'd Starbringer by Tracy Wolff and Nina Croft. I thought it was so boring, and I'm going to unhaul that book. So instead, I checked out 100 Years of Solitude, the audiobook from my library. And I will say, this is a bit confusing. I did have to watch the crash course. John Green has a like 2-part video, like 2 videos about 100 Years of Solitude, and that really helped me like put things into perspective. But I've also had to look up a little bit of the summaries. There's just like so many characters and so many people like going on here, and so I'm really it's difficult, but it's good. It's like it really got me enwrapped, we'll say. So I'm very excited to see how this one goes. And then I'm still reading Wuthering Heights. I only read a few pages. I basically tried to read this afternoon, and it almost put me to sleep. I was like, could sleep right now. I think because the type is just so small, and I feel like I have to like tune in so much. The book club that I'm attending for this is meeting next Saturday. I gotta put my ass to grass and get this read. I'm on page 172 of 279, and it's really hard. I feel like after Kathy dies, and now like they're just dropping off one by one, now I'm like, okay, what more do I need in this 100 pages? What more is going to happen? I know Heathcliff like goes off, like completely goes off his rocker, but I'm just like, my guy, can't you do literally anything else? Heathcliff, can't you do literally anything else? Did I say what 100 Years of Solitude is about? This spans like 6 generations of people. They live in this like sort of utopian society in Colombia, and then Colombia becomes like a country, and this government comes in, and it's supposed to be an allegory for, what was it, the United Food Group? Like when they went in and did the neo-colonialism of farming Colombia for bananas. and that's kind of the history behind it, but it uses magical realism and talking about like science and all these things, but it's also like a family drama in a way. So like we have two families and they both got a lot of kids. They're trying to marry off right now, and Rebecca is one of them, but she's like not, she like just showed up one day. I think she's like a distant cousin, but when she gets stressed out, she eats dirt. So that sucks, I guess. I don't know, the jury's out on this, but I am like very interested in finishing it. Obviously, it's just a very different book than anything I've read. I think this is my first book in translation from Colombia. Like, this is the first Colombian author I've read. I've read books translated from Spanish, but I believe the ones that I've read were from people from Spain. So this is definitely a very different sort of book, but I'm enjoying it so far. And I was really interested in Love in the Time of Cholera, which I do have a copy of as well, but this one was available at my library. So hello, this is going to be the conclusion of this reading vlog. Thanks so much for joining me today. So this week I finished Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. I enjoyed this book. I did give it 3 stars on Fable because I felt that this was a bit slow. It could have been a little bit snappier with its plot, in my opinion. I just feel that it got too slow for how long this is, and it's a trilogy. Like, we're gonna be with these characters for a little bit of time, so I do wish that just a bit more had happened in this book. But I still really enjoyed it. I like Emily Rath a lot as an author. Then I finished All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. 5 stars. This is such a good book. Sabaa Tahir has such a good writing style. I think that she made Noor and Salou Tahir very different in the way that she was like writing them. You know, how sometimes with dual POV it can end up really blending together. I feel like she did such a good job of separating these two characters and then showcasing their relationship, not just through memories, but also like telling us how they feel about each other through their emotions and their actions. It just, gorgeous book. Loved that. Another gorgeous book, The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. Oh my god, I loved reading about how Ciamora finds her voice and how she wants to use it. It is just so good, very fast-paced because it is a novel in verse. I definitely want to check out more of Acevedo's writing. I know that she wrote Clap When You Land, and that book kind of made the rounds a couple years ago. I'm definitely going to be reading that in the future. I am also almost done with Wuthering Heights. I have, as of like this current moment, around 20 pages left. I'm very excited to be finishing this. I do feel like after Kathy dies, spoiler alert, this book has been out long enough, you know, she dies, but there's like 100 plus pages that happens after that, and I'm just to the point where I'm like, oh my god, we need to, Miss Bronte, please wrap it up. This is so bleak, but it's still very, very good. I have been enjoying it. It's just getting a bit long. And I'm excited to talk about it at book club this weekend for the first time, and I'm excited to see how that goes. And then I did start 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I need to do more like outside work to be able to understand what's inside this book. I've been I talked about watching the Crash Course episodes on YouTube. I came across another video on like how to read this book. I am going to watch that as well. I like it. I'm very like entranced by this, but I know that there's a level of understanding that I'm not quite getting. So, but I am willing to do the work about it. So that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, sorry, last one. I have been reading Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose. I do like this. I like it more than I thought I would. Well, actually, I bought it. I was hoping that I would love it, but I think I just have a hard time sometimes with romance, and I've talked about this before, where there's like inherent sexualization, but also I think that this book is a bit more like smutty, if I'm being honest with you. Like I do think that this might toe more on the erotica sort of side of things, which is fine. I just wasn't quite expecting that. But if I can adjust my expectations, I'm positive I'm gonna have a great time with this. It's also hard because it takes place in winter, even though like look at that nice sunset and all these wildflowers. I'm like, I really thought that this wasn't going to take place in winter, but then like that's all winter. So I don't know, but I'm on page 79 and we are chugging along. I'm hoping to finish this week, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, those are my final reading updates. Thanks so much for joining me this week. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I would love to have you as a part of our growing community, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.